Hey, history fans, you've got to hear this. Today we're diving into one of the most catastrophic events in modern history, the Chernobyl disaster. It's a story filled with tragedy, heroism, and lessons that still resonate today. The Chernobyl disaster is a really sad but also inspiring story. It's a tale of human error, but also of incredible bravery and resilience. On April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine blew up. This explosion was not just a minor incident, it was a catastrophic failure that changed the course of history. This wasn't just a little accident. The explosion was so powerful that it blew the roof off the reactor building, releasing a massive amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere. It was a huge explosion that sent dangerous radioactive stuff into the air, and it spread all over Europe. The radioactive cloud traveled across borders, affecting countries far and wide. The explosion happened because the reactor wasn't designed very well, and the people running the plant made some big mistakes. The reactor had serious design flaws, and a safety test went horribly wrong. Right away, it was a total disaster. The immediate aftermath was chaotic, with emergency responders rushing to the scene, unaware of the deadly levels of radiation they were being exposed to. 31 people died quickly from radiation sickness, and thousands of others got sick from the radiation later on. The health impacts were devastating, with many suffering from long-term illnesses. People had to leave their homes. The nearby town of Pripyat, home to the plant workers and their families, was evacuated. Imagine having to leave everything behind, not knowing if you'd ever return. Whole towns were abandoned, like ghost towns frozen in time. Pripyat remains a haunting reminder of the disaster, with its empty buildings and overgrown streets. But the story doesn't end there. The response to the disaster was monumental, involving thousands of people and unprecedented efforts to contain the radiation. What happened next was truly amazing. Firefighters, plant workers, and even miners were called in to help. These brave individuals risked their lives to prevent the disaster from escalating. Firefighters, the plant workers, and even miners risked their lives to stop the disaster from getting worse. They worked tirelessly, often with little protection, to contain the radiation and prevent further explosions. They built something called a sarcophagus, which is like a giant concrete box, to cover the reactor and keep the radiation from spreading. This massive structure was constructed in record time, despite the dangerous conditions. Years later, they built an even bigger steel structure over the whole thing to make it even safer. This new containment structure, known as the New Safe Confinement, was completed in 2016 and is designed to last for at least 100 years. Today, when we think of Chernobyl, it reminds us of how dangerous nuclear power can be. The exclusion zone around the plant is still highly radioactive, and it serves as a stark reminder of the potential risks of nuclear energy. But it also shows us how strong people can be and how things can get better over time. The recovery efforts have been immense, and the resilience of the people affected by the disaster is truly inspiring. So, history buffs, remember Chernobyl. It's a really important lesson from the past. It teaches us about the dangers of nuclear power, the importance of safety, and the incredible strength of the human spirit. It's a really important lesson from the past. The Chernobyl disaster is a powerful reminder of the consequences of human error and the importance of vigilance and safety in all aspects of life.